For much of the past few years in WWE, many fans have continued to echo the sentiment that Vince McMahon is out of touch with what wrestling fans want to see on Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown, and that the men Vince puts in prominent positions behind the scenes to run these shows, such as Bruce Pritchard, are not doing enough to get the WWE's main roster shows back on track, or at least somewhat similar to the product of NXT, which is regarded highly by most wrestling fans. Not to mention that most of the WWE's talents are very unhappy with Bruce Pritchard's and Vince McMahon's booking decisions, and feel that Bruce is simply a yes man for Vince McMahon and is not making very good decisions when it comes to helping the sagging TV ratings, and feel the WWE needs an overhaul to get things running smoothly again. However, if a new behind the scenes rumor proves to be true, Vince McMahon is reportedly taking a big step to try and fix the WWE's main roster issues, an attempt to get the ratings for Raw and SmackDown back up from the all-time lows that we have seen throughout 2020, and apparently this is starting with having Triple H, who is the man currently running NXT, to take the bulk control from Bruce Pritchard as the executive director of Raw and Friday Night SmackDown, with Vince planning to give Triple H most of the responsibilities of Bruce to try and fix the WWE's problem, meaning that Hunter would basically be in charge of the creative direction of NXT and the two main roster shows as well. For those of you unaware, Triple H was backstage this past week on Raw because Bruce Pritchard was not around, meaning that Triple H was in charge of the creative side of things this week, and one source mentioned that most superstars were very happy with Triple H's ideas and style of management, and just overall felt that Triple H running things was a breath of fresh air. Let us know if you think Triple H taking over Raw and Friday Night SmackDown is what the WWE need to put on better shows and increase the TV ratings, or do you feel that Bruce Pritchard and Vince McMahon have been doing a pretty good job over the past several months and that things are just fine the way they are, and that Triple H should focus on running the NXT brand only? On this past week's episode of Monday Night Raw, Drew McIntyre found out who his next challenger for his WWE Championship will be at the upcoming TLC 2020 pay-per-view event, as AJ Styles managed to win the triple threat match against Matt Riddle and Keith Lee to secure the big opportunity at TLC for the championship. On paper, AJ Styles vs Drew McIntyre is certainly a very interesting stylistic matchup, and both superstars have all the tools to put on a fantastic match for fans at TLC. While many wrestling fans are under the belief that this is only going to be a filler storyline or feud for Drew McIntyre's newly won WWE Championship, and that Styles would not be winning the title from Drew at TLC, according to a breaking new behind-the-scenes rumor, Vince McMahon is considering the idea of having a shock title change occur at the upcoming pay-per-view event, with AJ Styles rumored to win the WWE Championship from Drew McIntyre in a shocking storyline twist, with current NXT champion Finn Balor reportedly being considered backstage to make a special appearance at TLC 2020 and help AJ Styles win the WWE Championship from Drew McIntyre. For those of you unaware, recent rumors have suggested that Vince is planning for Finn Balor to rejoin the WWE main roster in the not-so-distant future, likely after Balor inevitably loses his NXT Championship, and feels like the perfect way to eventually build up Finn Balor coming back to the main roster is having Finn help an old friend in AJ Styles pick up the title win over Drew McIntyre, which would also help keep McIntyre strong in defeat as well. Finn Balor has recently discussed his interest in recreating the club in WWE, and according to one of our sources, Vince is a big fan of the idea of recreating the club on Monday Night Raw, beginning with the new WWE champion AJ Styles and the soon-to-be called-up Finn Balor, along with Adam Cole, who is also reportedly moving up to the main roster soon as well. McMahon feels like a new club in WWE would be an easy way to boost the ratings for Monday Night Raw in the coming months, and not surprisingly, AJ Styles would apparently be the leader of the new club, with his bodyguard Jordan as the reigning WWE champion. Let us know your thoughts on the rumors going around that AJ Styles could be winning the WWE Championship from Drew McIntyre at TLC 2020 with the help of Finn Balor, and what are your thoughts and opinions of WWE calling up Finn Balor and Adam Cole to the main roster on Raw to recreate the club faction with AJ Styles? Is this a storyline you would be interested in seeing play out, or should Balor and Cole stay in NXT? Ever since The Miz shockingly won the Money in the Bank briefcase from Otis at Hell in a Cell 2020, there have been conflicting rumors going around regarding whether or not The Miz would end up successfully cashing in his briefcase on the current WWE champion over on Monday Night Raw. And while some rumors have suggested that The Miz would in fact cash in successfully, for the fans who are not very keen on the idea of The Miz being the WWE champion anytime soon, a new leaked backstage rumor has revealed that The Miz will actually be failing his Money in the Bank cash cash-in attempt later this month, with Vince McMahon reportedly feeling that The Miz just isn't a big enough draw to warrant another reign as WWE Champion, especially at this point in time when the ratings and viewership for Monday Night Raw have already been quite low, and Vince feels like The Miz as WWE Champion would bring the ratings even lower than they are right now, hence why McMahon has reportedly made the final decision that The Miz will not be cashing in his briefcase successfully, and will fail his cash-in in the coming weeks. Ever since Roman Reigns turned heel and aligned with Paul Heyman earlier this fall, there's no doubt that Roman Reigns has went on to have arguably the best run in his entire career as the reigning Universal Champion over on Friday Night SmackDown. But if a shocking new backstage rumor proves to be true, Roman Reigns' alliance and partnership with Paul Heyman will be coming to an abrupt end very soon. According to this rumor, Vince McMahon reportedly feels like Roman Reigns' alliance with Paul Heyman has essentially run its course, and that Roman no longer needs Paul Heyman by his side, either as his manager or mouthpiece, especially now that Roman's cousin Jey Uso has aligned with his tribal chief. As of right now, the current backstage plan Vince is considering to move ahead with will see Paul Heyman shockingly betray Roman Reigns at TLC 2020 after Roman Reigns retains his Universal Championship against Kevin Owens, with Brock Lesnar reportedly secretly being considered backstage to make his return at TLC 2020 and attack Roman Reigns after Paul Heyman betrays Roman, with Paul Heyman officially ending his partnership with Roman Reigns and reforming his alliance with his original client Brock Lesnar, with WWE then heading into a big Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns feud to start off 2021. Despite facing each other in the recent past, Lana and Asuka have been working very well together on Monday Night Raw, with the two women's division stars working together during their feud with Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, with reports of Charlotte Flair reportedly set to return to WWE on Monday Night Raw in the coming weeks and inevitably win the Raw Women's Championship from Asuka. Current backstage rumors indicate that WWE planned for Asuka and Lana to become a legitimate long-term tag team in the women's division, with Asuka and Lana apparently plan to win the Women's Tag Team Championships from Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax in the near future, likely at TLC 2020, and as a result, this would be Lana's first championship win in her entire WWE career. Let us know your thoughts on Lana and Asuka becoming a legitimate tag team on Raw, and your opinion of Asuka and Lana winning the Women's Tag Team Championships from Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax at TLC 2020.